But right now, I'm sitting with Jack Garratt, who will be playing at the Gobi tent in a bit. So let's see if you can define your sound in 3 minutes or less.
If I can't, does that mean we just sit here in silence for 3 minutes or less?
Trying to figure out,
Sure.
yes, the sound. But,
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, you are an unconventional
Right.
artist. You can't quite put you in one neat box,
Yeah.
really. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that that's definitely a goal that I try to aim for when I'm making the music that I make. But again, I guess ironically, I try not to be defined by the fact that I am undefinable. I don't know.
Well, ultimately, it's about great songs, really.
Yeah, and I think that's where a lot of it comes from. Like a lot of people nowadays as well, especially with like music that's made by people of in between the ages of 20 through 30, younger than that, teenagers as well. People are just listening to the music that they want to listen to and are then making music that is inspired because of that. I don't think anyone's trying to not be put in boxes, like as if that's a cool thing. It's not. Like the cool thing is to make the music that you want to make and then make the music that speaks to you strongest.
Yeah, and not really worry about it.
Yeah, true.
So you, sir, are touring behind your album debut phase.
Yeah.
Do songs change over time as you perform them?
Yeah, they do. I actually, I think it's safe to say I'm a little nervous for today's show. This is the first show I've done in about 4.5 months. And so on the drive on the way up here, I was listening to the record. I was listening to Phase to kind of just make sure I had the right melodies in my head and the words were right. Yeah, I think that's a fair thing to do. I was kind of surprised by the show I now know, the songs I know now, in comparison to the recordings that I made a couple of years ago from the record that came out last year. There is a huge difference in those two things. And I think I've always really strived for that more than anything. I wouldn't want someone to come to a show of mine and leave disappointed because they think they could have just pressed play on their laptop back in their bedroom and had the same experience. No, I want someone to come to my show leaving knowing that they'll never see that again, even if they come and see my show again.
Sure.
Like it's always different, always unique, always new.
And how do you trigger that for yourself as a performer? Do you approach it always
it's just
the
all
same?
drugs.
Yeah.
No,
just to shake things up.
Right?
Let's see what happens.
Trying to do something different. No, performing music is kind of the reason why I make music. I love to be in a studio. I make a lot. I make the music that people hear, hopefully hear. I make it myself predominantly, so that can be quite a lonely existence, kind of experimenting and creating with no comeback from another voice or opinion. And don't get me wrong, I put myself in that situation. I have no one to blame but myself for that. But being out on the road, you get a new band every night. I perform on my own on stage. The other band member is the crowd. I have a good show if they are locked in and ready to have a good time with me. They have a bad show if I'm not feeling it. Like we act off of each other. So the thing that really creates that uniqueness that I was talking about earlier, it's down to my relationship with the audience and making sure that is the strongest thing out of anything.
Well, we are very much looking forward to you live, making that connection and having the time of our lives here at Coachella. That's Jack Garratt. The album is Phase, available now, and be sure to check him out right here, Coachella 2017.